Hi, welcome back to It's Okay to Play with Food. Gabby here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna share today a walnut raisin sweetbread recipe. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Questions, likes, and comments are always welcome. Enjoy. Three and a quarter cups of flour, 1 cup of lukewarm milk, 6 tablespoons of butter at room temperature, 1 packet of yeast, which is about 1 tablespoon, 3 eggs, a pinch of salt, 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cocoa, 2 cups of walnuts, ground or finely chopped, 1/2 cup of raisins, 3 tablespoons of rum. If you do not use alcohol, you can mix 1 tablespoon of water with a little bit of rum essence, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And we are gonna start with the milk in your mixing bowl, the warm milk. Just pour it in and sprinkle the yeast on top of it. And we're gonna just set it aside for right now. Start with the eggs. We're gonna separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. We're gonna set the egg whites aside for right now. From the egg yolks, we're gonna scoop out 1/2 teaspoon of the yolk and tablespoon of the egg whites or so. We're gonna set it aside. We're gonna use it as an egg wash. And if you have a little bit of milk left in your cup, you can add that one to it too. We don't need much, just a little bit. And at this point, we're gonna put the raisins into the rum or the rum essence, whatever you have. And I like to cover it a little bit with saran wrap. Make a little vacuum over there and just mix it really, really well and let the raisins soak up the rum. We are gonna set aside about 4 tablespoons of sugar. We're gonna need it for the filling part of it. We're gonna move to the mixer. I am gonna use the palette again instead of the dough hook. I just like to work a little bit better with it. And we're gonna add the rest of the sugar to the milk and the yeast and the butter. If you wanna grate it, that's perfectly fine. And I'm just gonna start mixing this a little bit and then add my egg yolks into this mixture. And start adding your flour little by little. And then the vanilla essence. And then the pinch of salt. If your eggs are a little bit on the smaller side, you can always add a little bit extra butter. Another teaspoon. We're gonna gather it in the middle of our bowl. Cover it with a saran wrap and a kitchen towel. We're gonna let it rest for 1 hour. I have 2 pans right here, 8 by 4 inch. that I'm gonna butter and sprinkle with flour. And we're gonna use the flour that we have left for the dough. And on this floured surface, we're gonna put our dough, and we are gonna split it in two. We're gonna have 2 loaves. We can start the egg whites and beat them up to soft peaks. Then we're gonna add the sugar, and we're gonna fold in the walnut and the raisins. While the egg whites are getting nice and fluffy, we're gonna smooth out the dough. Make sure it's gonna fit in your pan. And it's time to add the sugar to the egg whites. And as soon as it starts to firm up, we are done. At this point, we are ready to add the cocoa to our egg whites, some of the walnut, I would say just about half, and the raisins. Just scoop them out. If there is any liquid left, we do not want that. And at this point, we're gonna just turn everything nicely a few times. You can add the rest of the walnut. And we're gonna split the filling into also. Spread it evenly. And now we're gonna roll loosely the dough. And we're gonna transfer it in our baking pan. Repeat with the second half. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. With a fork, we're gonna give it a couple of pokes just so it can breathe when it expands again. And remember that 1 tablespoon of egg whites with a little bit of the yolk and a splash or 2 of milk. Now we're gonna brush our loaves with it. And as you can see, it's just perfect. We don't need any more than that. And this needs to rest for another hour. I know we need a little patience, but it's worth it. Covered with a kitchen towel for an hour in a nice warm place. Bake at 350 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. It's not a bad idea to do the toothpick test. And here are our loaves, nice and golden brown, cool in a pan. And here is our walnut-raisin sweet bread. With all that walnut filling. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Questions, likes, and comments are welcome. Enjoy!